Welcome back to the Briar Patch. I want to talk today about barrel threading. This is my CZ MTR. I've talked in a previous video about how I built this when we assembled it, because it originally started off as a synthetic model which had a skinny barrel. And you can see the original synthetic stock and skinny barrel there. You can tell here that's got a lot more meat on it. The synthetic is threaded 1/2 by 28. The MTR barrel is not, and I want a threaded barrel. So I'm going to be sending this off here probably in the next month or so to Silencer Central and have them thread it. I've been debating on what I wanted to thread it at, if I want to do a 1/2 by 28 or 5/8 by 24. I believe I'm going to go 5/8 by 24 because that's a lot of meat on the tip there. And I've heard that once you have these barrels threaded, it tends to open up your groups and it can affect your accuracy. Now, I've heard others say if it's done properly, it does not affect accuracy. And the reason I'm going with 5/8 by 24 is, well, it's less meat off of it, less chance of it affecting the accuracy. I'm not using a 22 LR specific suppressor for it. I am using my Gemtech that my lovely wife got for me as an anniversary present. Of course, I had to wait a while for it, but yeah, this is the Lunar 9. You can take the front half off here and shorten it up. It's about that long, but you can change out the end piece here and go from 1/2 by 28 to 5/8 by 24. This specific suppressor is rated for 9mm or 300 blackout subsonics. Now, I'm going to use it on a 22. Why? Because it's it's user serviceable. I can take it apart. I can clean it. I have used it on my synthetic. It is super quiet with Ely ammunition, which is pretty much all I shoot now. I've tried different brands, and with standard velocity ammunition, it is super quiet. Don't have to worry about bothering the neighbors or anything like that. And I still have the piece for my pistol with the Nelson device, which some guy in New York should have had on his, but for whatever reason he didn't. But he's dealing with consequences of that now. We're not going to get into that though. But I've had people say, "Oh, you need to get a 22 specific can." No, I don't. This works just fine. And I believe once it's threaded on there, it'll look really darn good and it'll work really well. Like I said, you can take this all apart, break it all down into smaller pieces, put it in an ultrasonic cleaner, it'll clean up really well, which, we know 22 is a dirty girl. She gets really nasty when you shoot a lot of them down through there. So, but with it being 5/8 by 24, I can switch it from my CZ to my 300 blackout without having to change anything. Just thread it off of this, thread it on the other. As long as I'm shooting subsonics, the can will do just fine. That's all I'm really going to be shooting suppressed out here. 300 blackout subsonics and 22 LR. And if I decide to shoot 9mm, I just got to swap out the end piece and I'm good to go. So if you're looking at a suppressor, think about getting a user serviceable one that will break down into pieces. Oh, because of YouTube guidelines, I can't show you this next part, so hold on. And we're back. As you can see, it all breaks down. You got all these little individual cups. No, I'm not going to take them all apart. But you've got the stainless steel one. That's the main blast chamber. You have all these others. Like I said, you can shorten it down to that size. And you'll have I guess a more concealable suppressor. If you were going to carry it on a pistol, have a 5-inch instead of a 8 or 9-inch suppressor. I have used the 5-inch on the 22 LR. It works really well, but I just shoot the whole thing. I don't bother with taking it apart for compact, all that stuff. But if you look at the Lunar 9 and you think, oh man, I really want that, but it's not the right thread pattern, you can go and order whichever end piece you need to get, which my lovely wife got me for Christmas. Thank you, honey. Love you. You know, uh, check them out. If you're just going to be shooting it for certain things, look at a multi-cal can. If you're only going to shoot in 9mm or 22, get one can that you can take apart and clean instead of these sealed up suppressors that once they get filled up, you have to send them off to get cleaned out. It's shipping that you have to pay, labor you have to pay. You're without it for a while, no telling when you'll get it back. So I'm more of a do-it-yourself type of guy. But yep, this is my plan, to have the MTR threaded 5/8 by 24, so there's a little bit more meat on the barrel, and I think it'll work out really well. I'll try to make a video of it this spring, let you know how it turns out, and hopefully it won't affect accuracy, and we're going to find out. Y'all have a great one.